So how do you handle the thought or the rebuttal that goes like, I don't like habituation because I'm a man of science, so I want something scientific because I believe in science. The way I would handle that is I would say, I'm a man of science myself. I'm sitting in this hammock that was developed by science, recording this phone on a camera that was developed by science. I travel by plane. Science helped develop that plane. I'm a man of science. I love science. The thing about science is, like, what science are we talking about? Western medicine and cures that you are aware of is just one component of science. And I'll explain like this. Take, for example, something like God. People say, well, science can't prove God. Well, are we talking about historical evidence, or are we talking about physical evidence to prove something like the existence of a God? For example, physical evidence would be, we can go to the Eiffel Tower and measure it with a measuring stick or tape measure, and then therefore we know that it is over 1,000 feet tall. But that doesn't tell us why it's there. What tells us why it's there is historical evidence, historical science. We know that it was created to be the entrance to the World Fair, and we know that it was developed for that because we have written documentation that we can all agree why the Eiffel Tower was built and what year it was built. So you need both sciences. You can't say, well, I don't believe the science of historical evidence, and so someone may reject something as a document as, say, the Bible, but they'll say, well, but I don't believe the Bible, but then I believe that I do believe the Eiffel Tower was erected to be the entrance to the World Fair. Well, so then why do you throw out this historical evidence and then not that historical evidence, and then say you need a scientific evidence to prove something like the existence of God, when historical evidence is taken by everyone as just as pertinent as scientific evidence, physical evidence? So let's apply that to tinnitus. That's just one. That is just how I approach that logically. Let's apply that to tinnitus. There is a ton of historical evidence to support the idea that habituation is not a fantasy, but it is a reality, and it is a very scientific and natural process that your brain does of filtering out sounds that are non-threats. There is just so much evidence to support that. In fact, if you deny that as a cure and is not scientific, you are actually denying science. You are a science denier. And ironically, it's those people that will deny habituation, say, I don't like it, I want something scientific. They are themselves denying science. I'm not going to deny Western science, and Western medicine has its place. Then don't deny something like habituation and mindfulness and cognitive behavioral therapy and these other things that have a ton of evidence to support that they work for tinnitus, and they treat it, and they return people back to silence and back to living their lives again. That's how I would answer that question. And I'm sorry if I got off on a tangent, but I really felt like I needed to explain it in that way, because when you're talking about things like tinnitus, it is as much as if it is physical, but because it's a physical, you're physically hearing a sound, you're perceiving it to be there, but it is also very emotional and mental. And so you can't just treat something like bothersome tinnitus with only addressing the physical. You have to address the spiritual, you have to address the mental, you have to address the psychological. in order to restore someone back to peace and get them living their life again. So anyway, if you want to work with me and I can listen to you and I can help you get back to peace, stillness, and silence, I would love to work with you. Make sure to hit the link below, book a 60-minute session if that's what you want to do. And also comment below. I love reading the comments. Like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later. Peace.